Hello, and welcome to the December market update from Commonwealth Financial Network. My name is Brad McMillan. I'm Commonwealth's Chief Investment Officer. When we look back at November, all we can really say is wow. The big news, of course, was the election. Mr. Trump's surprising victory, the even more surprising unified government, Republican Congress, Republican administration that virtually no one saw coming. What this means for us as investors is actually very clear, but it's not what everyone thought that it meant. What everyone thought a Trump victory would mean was markets selling off. And we did indeed see that, but we only saw it for about 6 hours. Since then, markets, especially here in the U.S., have rallied strongly. We've seen U.S. indices go up between 2 and 6%. Clearly, the stock markets here in the U.S. think that this is a good thing. And there's reason to believe that. But then if you look around the rest of the world, the news is less favorable. Developed markets actually dropped. Emerging markets dropped even more. And even the fixed income markets, the bond markets here in the U.S. dropped. It's very unusual that we see all of this kind of thing happen. And the question is why? In fact, there are good reasons why this happened. The big recalculation here is that, first of all, risk has been reduced on the political side. We no longer have a divided government. We now have a unified government. There's a sense that the political environment will be more favorable for growth going forward here in the U.S. There's also a sense that the rest of the world may be more at risk. Mr. Trump's trade policies in particular could make that happen. There are signs that in fact that's not the case, but markets tend to react first and then think about it later, and that's just what happened. Here in the U.S. in particular, though, the signs for growth are good. We've seen consumer confidence continue to improve, most recently with a very surprising pop towards the end of the month. We've seen wage income continue to grow. We've seen jobs continue to grow. We've seen consumer spending and business confidence continue to grow. In other words, the fundamentals were fairly sound before the election, but worry around the election, worry about who was going to win, about what might happen, was holding things back. Now that that uncertainty is gone, the economy and the stock market is free to do even better. And in fact, if you look at the stock market, we've seen earnings come in positive for the first time in several quarters. We've seen the energy sector in particular returning to growth. In other words, a lot of the headwinds that were affecting the stock market have turned to tailwinds. And with the economy looking to improve even more, there's a chance that we'll see even more acceleration. What does this mean for the next month? My personal expectation is that trends continue positive. Certainly there's a real possibility of a Santa Claus rally, as we often see in December. At the same time, however, there are risks out there. We have the Italian referendum coming up. China remains a concern, so nothing is guaranteed. But what we do know is this. We know that the fundamentals of the U.S. economy remain positive, and we know that the fundamentals of the U.S. stock market are improving. And that should be a real good thing going forward. We'll talk about it next month. Thanks for watching.